going to start off with a lying down meditation. So if you want to, welcome everyone, come in. Okay, so we're going to start off with a lying down meditation. So if you want to lie down with your feet facing the door in rows, that'd be great. Welcome. Okay, so we're just going to start off with a lying down meditation. So if you get yourself a mat and some cushions, and then we'll be lying that way. Hey. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, can they come in at 7:35?
7:35.
Alright, yeah. So yeah, and then we can just straight away, as soon as we're in here, we're already coming into contact with ourselves again. Dropping all the stories of our day, of our lives. Feeling the relief of that, the release. And we just turn our phones off even as well if you haven't done that already. Yeah. Just lying down. Yeah. Feeling the weight of our bodies on the ground. Time to relax. You deserve it. Hard day. Maybe. Even if you haven't had a hard day, still deserve it. So you're just starting to settle. And as you settle, I'm going to read you a verse. This is a verse that we're going to be reflecting on in the session. So we can just take this in after we've taken a few deeper breaths. And just letting the ground take our weight. Going for refuge. This very day I go for my refuge to the powerful protectors, whose purpose is to guard the universe. The mighty conquerors who overcome suffering everywhere. Wholeheartedly also I take my refuge in the Dharma they have ascertained, which is the abode of security against the rounds of rebirth. Likewise, in the host of bodhisattvas, I take my refuge. Becoming aware of what's happening in the mind. And the heart. Aware of the breath, particularly in the belly. Imagine that you're breathing in through the belly, just below the belly button. aware of the breath in the chest area. And the back. You can even imagine the ground taking a bit more of our weight. It's like with each breath, sinking deeper and deeper into the ground. See if you can let go a little bit more. Thoughts are not facts. It's just energy in the body. Just breathing with the energy of your experience at this moment, this time. Allowing it to be there. Keep releasing any tension in the body, particularly in the shoulders. Allowing the shoulders to drop right down the back. Releasing any gripping in the hands. Softening the brow and the face. Just becoming aware of the whole body again. The whole body breathing. Starting to tune in to sounds in the room, outside the room. A sense of other people in the room. A few moments, we're going to come out of this posture. Just notice if even the thought of that has released any tension, caused any tension in the body. And when you're ready, in a few moments, rolling over onto your left-hand side, facing this right. So when you're ready, rolling over, resting in that position. Okay, and now from this position, moving into a seated position, we're just going to sit comfortably for a few moments and then we'll meditate. So to start off by moving to a seated position and sitting comfortably, and we'll go from there. Good. Yeah, so just getting what cushions you need to meditate. I'll say a bit first, and then we'll do a period of the mindfulness of breathing. Yeah, so if you might want to save your knees for a few minutes. I'm just going to say a bit more about this verse. Good. Good. So as you know, in Buddhism, we don't just use meditation to try and get absorbed into our experience and go deeper. We also use ritual and verses to help, in a way, reminders of our goal, of our intention when we're meditating, and in a way you could say to cultivate faith or confidence that there is something more to our mind than just the everyday worries about ourselves and the planning and the worrying and the past. There is more to our mind than that, and if we know where to look, and we can glimpse that in our own experience. Welcome, come on in. We can glimpse the depth of our mind, and that's actually come on in. Help yourself to ask some questions. You just missed a bit where I was saying there's more to your mind than you realise. So there we go, you know now. And I'd say in meditation and practice we can really glimpse that, especially on retreat, but actually even here on tonight on the Wednesday night class you can glimpse the depth of your mind. I think I used to remember when I used to come from work in a GP practice, it was all busy, and I come here and then I really did glimpse something more to my experience than just the everyday. So that does happen, but we often need sort of prompts and different ways in than just working on our mind with our mind, if you see what I mean, because our mind itself is usually all over the place. I'm talking about my own mind here, maybe the same for yours. So we use other ways of helping us to sort of gather up our mind to the mind that's really there. So this verse helps us to do that. So I'll just read this verse again and I'll explain what we're going to do in the meditation. So yes, listen out for this. So going for refuge. This very day I go for my refuge to the powerful protectors, whose purpose is to guard the universe, the mighty conquerors who overcome suffering everywhere. Okay, good, that's the first half of it. So what's really striking about this verse is the way it starts. I love this line. It starts with the line, this very day I go for my refuge. So this very day. And that's really, really important for meditation, for our minds, for Buddhism, because what Buddhism's saying is that where you make progress with your mind in your life, where you find this deeper mind, isn't in some future place. It's right now, in this moment, and in this moment, and in this moment. So it's only in this moment, as in this very day, as in now, another way of saying now, where we find the truth, who we really are, what we really, all of our courage, all of our positive emotion, our compassion, our strength, that's all within us. And you find that now rather than any other time. And I think if you're anything like me, our minds aren't built like that. For example, in my mind, I'm often tell me if this is true for you as well. I'm often planning or thinking about other things when I meditate. I'm not always very present. And have you ever had that experience where you come to the Buddhist center and you're meditating, you start meditating, and then you realise you're starting to think about booking your next retreat? Have you ever done that? Or even on retreat, I've done this as well, where I'm on a retreat and I'm trying to meditate and I'm thinking, oh God, this meditation is really good. Yeah, maybe I should book a retreat in a few months' time. How about that? Anyone else done that? Or so even when we're meditating right now, we can somehow, in a way, be avoiding our experience and subtly planning something else, so that we're not really doing it now in this very moment. And even with I'm trying to go on a diet at the moment. I don't know about you, for just before Christmas. I think it's important. And I was just having some ice cream now, and I was saying to myself, don't worry, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow, so I'll have the ice cream. Has anyone ever done that as well? So I'm like, well, hang on a sec, I'm having the ice cream now, never mind, the tomorrow doesn't even exist, if you see what I mean. It could go to the gym tomorrow, but I could not. So what are we actually doing now? And are we having the ice cream? I mean, it's right to have a bit of ice cream, but if we don't want to have ice cream and we're trying to diet, say, then it's going against our purpose, but we're sort of justifying it to ourselves, aren't we? And that's what's happening in meditation as well. We're saying, instead of trying to meditate right now, we're often thinking, oh, don't worry, something will happen, it's okay if I think about this, or I'll meditate when I'm on retreat, or tomorrow. Or we're not actually, in a way, grabbing the bull by the horns and just meditating now, which actually means working on your mind now, facing the discomfort, I'm afraid, most of the time, and also looking for the depth now. But if you do that, then there's gold to that, as I normally say. There's, facing the discomfort and meditating now. If you can do that, then it's worth it. And so you have to believe that. That's what I'm saying. The faith, the confidence. You have to believe that it's worth it. It's almost like what we have to do is gather up all the bits of us that want to plan and don't want to meditate and don't want to be in the now, and just include them. Be kind to those bits of us. So how that will feel in the meditation is you might have a tension in the chest area, you might have some discomfort in the body, some difficult emotion, and there'll be thoughts that go with that, like I can't cope with this, I don't want to be with this, and that's why you end up planning and thinking about the things. So the first thing we need to do to be in the now is just be really aware of what's happening in the now, and just admit to ourselves that it's quite difficult, or it's a bit uncomfortable, or I don't really like this, I don't really like myself, even whatever it is, you just admit that. And just by being aware of it, it's very transformative, particularly in the Buddhist centre, with the figure of the Buddha, with our friends here. Just by being aware of that in this very positive environment, it's okay to be in discomfort. It's okay, we're fine. And that sort of, that then replaces the worry and the planning, and lets us become more absorbed in our experience. And then once that's happening, then you look for some relief and any pleasure that comes with that as well. So in a way, it's quite simple steps. All we do is, on the one hand, become aware that we're trying to be in the now, this very day, in the present. What's stopping us from doing that? And then once we are in the now, we look for the pleasure and the relief that comes from being in the now, because being in the now is in line with reality, and when you're in line with reality, there's always a relief and a release, and it's what we're looking for. The mind that we're looking for is within that now. If that makes sense. So we're sort of really trying to embrace that, I think. It's a bit like, I'll just leave you with this image before we do it. I've got a couple of nieces, they're 6 and 4 now, and I remember when I was taking my 4-year-old niece out for a walk, we were trying to get from, basically not very far from the housing estate where my brother lives, to the end of the road where there's a farm, where they can see all the cows. And you think it was quite a simple walk, it's like a 1 or 2 minute walk, but with a 4-year-old toddler, it doesn't go in a straight line. So your aim is a very clear aim, get to the cows. But you're with this toddler, and she's walking along and she's looking at all the flowers, wanting to pick the flowers, and then she's running along to her sister and playing with her sister, or there's gates, trying to get through the gate into a field on the side. And even though the purpose is trying to get to the cows, she's just not in line with that purpose. She's just frolicking around. And somehow, as the adult, you have to gather her up and just say, no, it's okay, don't go that way, come this way, it's okay, or don't pick those flowers, or that's gonna sting you, that's a nettle, or whatever it is. And you have to keep gathering up, and then you start moving in the right direction towards the cows. That's where you want to be, towards the cows. So whatever that means for you, you've got to apply that and gather, as I say, gather up the parts of you that don't want to be in the now, be in this very day. But once they are gathered, that's where the gold is, that's where reality is, that's where you actually want to be, and that's where the relief is. Okay, so do the mindfulness of breathing, being aware, trying to be in the now, being aware of what's stopping us from being in the now, and then looking for the relief and the release as we're doing that throughout the practice. Okay, great. So let's give that a go. So setting ourselves up for a period of we were, but they're doing that in there, but we're doing the mindfulness. Yeah, but thanks. Yeah, in the second half we can do the metta. But I just want us to do mindfulness so we can really focus on that. But yeah, thank you. We can do whatever we want in this one. All right. Okay, good. Yeah, so once again, just closing our eyes. Just having that image in mind. This very day, I go for my refuge. Right now, this moment, this time. So what does that bring up for us? What are the bits of us we need to gather up? The discomforts, the tensions, the difficult emotions. And within all that, is there any sense of relief or release as we bring our attention to it? We stop fighting it. We allow our experience to be there. Particularly aware of the breath in all of this. It's like with each out-breath, tension is releasing. Our reaction to discomfort melts away. And instead, energy rises on the in-breath. Looking for a sense of relief and release. As we cultivate a deeper mind, a real mind. The mindfulness of breathing. So now starting to relax any effort that you're making, but continuing to sit still. Just absorbing the fruits of the practice. When you're ready, opening your eyes, coming out of the practice. Okay. Very good. So, yeah, we're going to have a tea break now, and then the second half we'll go more into this verse, looking at I go for my refuge, what that means. And we'll actually finish the second half with a short ritual as well, just to cement our understanding, and we'll take that image of the ritual into the rest of our week. But we'll do that in the second half. So let's have a cup of tea first. good. So let's start with a short meditation, just 3 or 4 minutes, just to help us settle back into our direct experience once again. So just starting off by getting into our postures, closing our eyes. As soon as we close our eyes, we're confronted with our direct experience, and we just let that be there. Being aware of sounds in the room, or just sounds. Allowing the ground to take our weight. At the same time, having an upright posture. You can imagine a piece of string pulling up the crown of the head, so as the head rises, the shoulders fall. And we just tune into our breath. So asking to become aware of the whole body again, sitting here at this moment, at this time. Aware of sounds in the room. A sense of other people in the room. Okay, good. So just sitting comfortably. Good. So what we're going to do now is just explore this second line of the verse. We're then going to do a reflection exercise, which is, you'll see what that is in a minute. Then we'll meditate again, and then we'll finish the evening with a very short ritual, as we said in the first half, where we'll recite the whole verse. And just to remind you of the verse we were looking at, this very day I go for my refuge to the powerful protectors whose purpose is to guard the universe, the mighty conquerors who overcome suffering everywhere. So you can see at the end there, the purpose of practice, the purpose of meditation, the purpose of Buddhism is to overcome suffering everywhere. Wouldn't that be wonderful if if we did get to that? And that is possible if we can overcome our own suffering, then of course the world's suffering. That'd be amazing. And for me, I really believe that actually if everybody was practicing Buddhism, that really would have that effect. It might be hard to believe, but I really think that is true. Which is why it does motivate me to practice that. And if we go back to the second line, this very day, the second line is, I go for my refuge. So refuge there is the place of real safety, where we sort of think, don't we, that like Ditch Bandu was saying, that if we get the big house with the alarm system installed, the Ring doorbell, and we've got the fencing up, and we protect ourselves with lots of money. We think that's safety. We think that's a refuge. But of course, from a Buddhist point of view, that's not safe at all. Everything's impermanent. Everything's changing. Obviously, in this country, we're just very privileged that we do have some stability in our civilization, in our world, and most of us are sort of safe day to day. But of course, in the world at large, it's not really like that. But even within our culture, our society, it's not safe because everything changes. And even if we've got everything we need, of course, we become sick, we become ill, and of course, we could become old and we die. And we don't know when that's going to happen. So really, we're in a very perilous situation. Not to scare you, I know you're here to relax this evening probably. But I think it's important that we are aware of our perilous situation so that we can do something about it, and that's where the real deeper relaxation comes in. And in Buddhism is saying that there is a refuge, there is a safe place that we can go to, which is beyond old age, sickness and death, impermanence, if we put our minds to it. That's represented by the Buddha, or enlightenment, you could say. So that's the refuge you're going towards. But the main thing I want to say is that in that verse, what's interesting is the very first word in that line, which the word is I. So what Buddhism's saying is that we are the only ones that can go for refuge, as in we have to take responsibility for our own mind, for our own selves. Nobody else is going to do it, I'm afraid. So it's I go for my refuge. I take personal responsibility for my mind, for myself, and in that way I can overcome my own suffering and the suffering of the world. Which sounds good, doesn't it? That sounds good that I can do it. But unfortunately, once again, our mind really isn't set up like that. So we were saying in the first half that our mind isn't really set up for being in the now, is it? We're always thinking about other things. And it's also not set up to take personal responsibility. Our mind is actually set up more for the threat response. So what I mean by that is, I don't know about you, but in that meditation, for example, I was definitely thinking, oh God, I wish I would have said that thing to that person at work today. I mean, I've got a bit of a dispute at work at the moment. And I'm going round a bit in circles, like, oh, I just need to say that to that person. Then I can, then I'll win the argument, and then I'll be happy, sort of thing. And it keeps going round and round, and someone says, I'll say that, that's really good. And what's happening there is that I'm not taking responsibility for my mind. I'm actually blaming the other person, because I'm thinking, look, if it wasn't for them, and I just won the argument, then I'd be happy, then I can meditate. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, we're doing that all the time, actually. We're thinking in our mind, instead of meditating, we're thinking about other people, what we should have said to them, what they've done to us. And in a sense, we're problematizing our lives in that way. And what Buddhism is saying is that we don't have to do that. In fact, we've got the power to work on our own minds, to take responsibility, and we don't have to be under the influence of anybody else in our lives, which is quite a powerful message. So some of us may have had, say, traumatic childhoods or experiences, or even if you haven't, you've probably all been to school and something's gone wrong, or we've had that difficult moment at work, or whatever. So we've all got that experience. But what Buddhism's saying is we don't have to dwell on that. We don't have to we can free ourselves from the shackles of our, past, our trauma, by, in a way, owning up to our own process and understanding that we've got the power from within to change, to grow, to not react to it. So we can't do anything about our past, and of course we've all come from different conditions, different places, wherever we've come from. That's just, in a way, our cards that we've been dealt. And maybe you could say, maybe you can empathise with people. I wish you wouldn't have had such difficult cards, or we can empathise with ourselves, be kind to ourselves, of course. Sometimes people have come from very difficult backgrounds. But those are the cards we've been dealt. And then we've got the choice now, in this moment, this very day, to decide how to react, how to respond to those cards. And we can respond in two ways. In one way, we can react to our conditioning, our past, and in a sense make it worse by blaming, should have said this, should have said that, should have done that, it's not fair, it's not right. We can do all of that, but that just makes it worse. Or instead we can move more towards acceptance, to just to sort of notice what's actually there in the experience of blame, like we were doing in the first half, or reactivity. We can notice that we're causing our own suffering. Even that, just the awareness, has a big transformative effect, and means that we're not making it worse. We're not adding to the problems at work we've got with our colleagues, or our housemates, or our family. We're not adding to the problems from our childhood, our trauma, our past. We've got the real potential to be in this moment, this very day, and not react. And instead of not reacting, grow instead towards the mind that we really want, that we really have already within us. So it's quite a strong message, and there's nuances to it, because you might say, oh, well, does that mean we should just be doormats and not sort of stand up for ourselves and just accept whatever happens, or not? And Buddhism isn't saying that, actually. So it's not what it's saying, but it's just saying, look, if something has happened, then the skillful inner response, anyway, there might be some other outer responses you have to do, but the inner response is to not react, and instead, because that makes it worse, that gives you more suffering, instead to just become aware of the reaction, the pain, and and instead see what's really there, that it's just an energy, it's just a response, it's just an experience. It's not as real as you think. There's something else there, there's something more real. You're trying to reflect in that way. Yeah. Okay, so that's what's Buddhism saying. That's what this, as I say, this passage is saying. I go from my refuge, overcome suffering everywhere. But do we really believe that? And that's the question I want us to reflect on. So, for example, in your meditation just now, or in the first half, like, how much was there any blame there? Well, were you thinking about colleagues or friends or flatmates that you were sort of in a sort of discussion or blame narrative with, or were you taking responsibility for your mind? Were you sort of owning up to your own reactions? When we say this very day, how much present were you? Because I think, and this isn't a judgment on anyone, this is just a chance to really just be honest with ourselves. Actually, most of the time, and I'm trying to be honest too, most of the time I am in these negative mental states of reactivity or not very present or rumination. The Buddhist word for it is prapancha, where you're just blaming people or thinking about the future, not in the present. A lot of the time I am in that state, but the reason why I'm a Buddhist and you can trust me is because, well, maybe not, but is because I've committed myself to working on that every day of my life. Basically, that's what ordination means. So I'm not being ordained doesn't mean that I'm saying I'm perfect or I've made it or I'm enlightened. I wish I was, but it just means that I've committed to working on my mind, taking responsibility for my mind, and doing that every day, every moment. Yeah. So that's all we're asking for you too, not to commit and get ordained necessarily if you don't want to, but it's more that, can you take your mind seriously and own up to the fact that look, you are good, you are working on your mind, you are here, that's brilliant, but what are you actually working with? That's the main thing, and that's what being a practitioner is owning up to what we're actually working with rather than pretending or even ignoring it. Does that make sense? Okay, brilliant. And I think we can do that. We can do that best together, like in friendship, in partnership. So what we're going to do is I want you to turn towards someone you don't know, and someone you've not come with. You can exchange names, and then you've got a couple of minutes each just to open up about your own mind, your own meditation. So what was going on for you in your meditation? Was there any blame particularly? Were you managing to get a grasp of your mind, or maybe not? That's probably the case. How present were you with it? Just really, really helpful just to say that all out loud, and for your own sake, and of course the sake of your partner as well. So you've got something to reflect on. Only a couple of minutes each, and then we'll go back. Then we'll meditate again. So don't worry, I won't go for too long, but it is good just to try that. So do you want to pair up now, and then decide who's going to go first? Exchange names. Ring a bell. Swap rounds so the other person can do it yet. Okay, everyone. So let's leave it there. Okay, good. Good, so it sounds like you had a lot to reflect on, which is very good. And that's the thing, isn't it? As soon as you start talking about your meditation experience, you're externalizing it, you're reflecting on it. And and you can see that we've all, until we're enlightened, we all have these ruminations, these hindrances, this prapancha. And then the key is to just become aware of it. And the more we're aware of it and what's underneath it, the more we can then become more absorbed in our meditation and touch the mind that we're trying to move towards, be the person who we want to be, and in the end, overcome suffering everywhere. So great. So with that in mind, let's meditate again. And all we're doing is the same process. This time they'll add in an extra element of, if you notice when you're getting into blame, see if you can notice the pain underneath that. So with blame and not taking responsibility for our minds, there will always be pain in the body. That's in a sense fueling the rumination, because we're in a threat mode, we're in pain. That's why we're in that state, and that's why we're not in the present, we're not heeding this very day the notion of this very day. So with pain, the best thing to do is just try and just very gently, with kindness, come into contact with the pain. When I say pain, it could just even be discomfort or a bit of a numbness, even just a not very pleasant or a bored feeling, or could be object pain as well. Just see if you can notice the energy of it, because pain isn't actually harming you. It's actually just an energy, and it's the reaction that we give to the pain, which is where the harm comes in, the suffering comes in. So if you can say, I've got, for example, pain in my knees and I'm a bit tense in the heart area, I think because of the dispute that's happening for me. So I can feel a bit tight. So when I'm doing the mindfulness of breathing, I'm just aware of that tightness, and it's like an energy moving in and out of my chest area. It's actually not so bad, and I'm just aware of my heart, and I'm then letting in some kindness, sense of love, sense of who I am. Everything's okay. And same with the pain in the knee. That's more of a physical pain. That's just an energy. It's like a heat. It's not going to harm me. It's just there. It's moving. It's like, yeah, it's not too bad. So that's how you approach pain. And then within all that, there's a bit of relief and release, because our experience has got a bit of pleasure in it as well. And if you're doing both of those things, looking at the pain and the pleasure, and then you'll naturally start to get absorbed, because you're no longer reacting, and your mind will naturally start to grow and open up. And you just have to do that again and again, and turn our phones off as well, and then we'll make it. Okay, very good. So we'll just do that again and again, and we'll get there. Yeah. So we'll meditate, and then with about 10 minutes to go, I ring a bell. We'll do the verse in call and response, and I'll lead us in a mantra, the Shakyamuni mantra, the mantra of the Buddha, the sound syllable of the Buddha. And you're welcome to either just listen or join in with the mantra. And traditionally, as the mantra's going, if you really want to, in a way, do something more to solidify your commitment to your own practice, traditionally you come up and make an offering to the Buddha, to your highest potential, you could say. Light some incense, stick it in the bowl, do a bow, and go and sit back into your seat. And that just a way of committing to your intentions for your own practice, your own mind for the week, offering something up to your highest potential. As I say, you're welcome to do that. If you don't know what to do, you just watch someone else, and then it's for you to do. So it's up to you if you want to do it. It's there for you if you want, or not if you don't. Okay. Very good. So with that in mind, just letting all the words wash over us. Just maybe scanning the body for any areas of pain or discomfort that normally we react to, just so we know what we're dealing with. By becoming aware, we are taking responsibility this very day. Just really allowing the out breath to let go of any tension and pain, and it's almost like it's flowing into the ground as we breathe out. Allowing our experience to be there. looking for any pleasure on the in-breath, sense of relief and release. The glimpse of overcoming suffering everywhere. Just staying tuned into the breath as best you can. Particularly the breath just below the belly button. The third stage of the mindfulness of breathing. Following the breath. The Going for Refuge verse in call and response. This very day, I go for my refuge, to the powerful protectors, whose purpose is to guard the universe. The mighty conquerors who overcome suffering everywhere. Wholeheartedly also I take my refuge. In the Dharma they have ascertained. Which is the abode of security against the rounds of rebirth. Likewise in the host of bodhisattvas. I take my refuge. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Shakya Muni Swaha. 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 Muni Swaha. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Shakya 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 Muni Swaha. Very good. So, that brings us towards the end of our evening. So all that's left to say is, thank you very much for coming and engaging. It really makes a big difference when you come and give yourself. I can see that all of you were very still in that last meditation. So you really are working on your mind, taking responsibility, which is fantastic for your mind. So I just encourage you, if you do find it helpful, see if you can commit to your practice, maybe at least once a day, meditate at least once a day for the week, and then you can come back next week and let us know how you're getting on. Next week I'll be here again and we'll go through a bit more of the verse. So we've only got to the second line, there's 8 lines, so we've got a bit of a way to go, but it gets even more exciting as we go through, so do come back next week to find out more. And just to say, thank you, I say, for giving your energy, your time, and if you've given your money as well, also thank you for that, or if you do want to give any money to the centre, we really appreciate that, because this centre, the whole purpose of the centre is to help you overcome your suffering, but of course it's the suffering of the people of London, the world, that we're also interested in, and every penny that you give goes towards that at the centre. That's the whole point of this centre. To help people work on their minds and overcome suffering. So thank you for giving to that project, to the cause. Appreciate it. So all that's left to say is hope you have a safe journey home, and thanks for coming. Cheers, thanks very much.
Thank you.
If you could put your mats and cushions to the side, that'd be great.